I gave you a map showing the physical regions of Switzerland. We first talked about the location of Switzerland. We said that Switzerland is a landlocked country, and we gave you a map showing the physical features. So members, I want to see, just to see if people can still remember the physical features or the physical regions that make up the Rhinelands. Members, I begin. What are these 3 physical regions that make up the Rhinelands? Physical regions that make up Switzerland rather. I beg your pardon. 3 physical regions that make up Switzerland. Yes. Yes, Mathiang. Yes, Mathiang. Mathiang, your hand is up.
It is Jura.
Yes.
We have Jura.
Yes. We have Jura. Then Narume Rebecca. Yes, Rebecca.
The Alps.
We have the Alps, yes. And the third one? Let me ask Nuts Cave. Yes, Nuts? Someone is called Nuts. And yes, Latifu. We have the Arabs, we have Jura, then the third one is?
Jura.
Jura is already mentioned. Good,
Central Plateau.
We have the Central Plateau. Thank you very much. Those are the 3 physical regions that make up Switzerland. So today I want as one of the physical Central Plateau. If you can recall the map, we drew, I gave you those 3 physical regions. So today we want to talk about the plateau. What is a plateau? What is a plateau, members? What is a plateau? What is a plateau? What is a plateau? Jonah, what is a plateau? Yes, Jonah?
A plateau is a raised flat top piece of land. A plateau is a raised flat top piece of land.
Yeah, it is a raised and flat top piece of land. So when we talk about the Swiss Plateau or the Central Plateau, at least we have that in mind, that it is a raised land but flat on top. So the same way, that applies also to the Central Plateau or the Swiss Plateau. It is central because it is between Jura and the Alps. So today, that's the part we want to talk about. And when we talk about this Central Plateau, what are we referring to? According to our map, if you can still remember. We are saying that the Swiss Plateau is in the northeast to southeast corridor of lower land. It is between the Jura and the Alps. Members, if you can refer to the map we drew, this part we are talking about is between Jura and Alps. We are saying that this part, the Central Plateau, it covers a total land area of about 30 degrees, 30% rather, of Switzerland. So if you compare the Alps and the Jura, we are saying the Swiss Plateau covers a total land area of about 30% of the total area of Switzerland. So this Central Plateau has its own characteristics. It has its own features, signified features that are a bit different from the other two parts. They are a bit different from the Alps and the Jura. So I want to look at the characteristics. Who can tell me one of the characteristics of this central part? The central part or the plateau. Members, who could be? Yes, we have Jonah. Jonah's hand is up. Yes, Jonah?
It has the highest population in the country.
Jonah is saying that it has the highest population in the country. Yes, if you compare it with other regions, because we shall look even at the other part that is remaining. So we are saying when you compare the population of the Central Plateau, it is high. We shall talk at the reasons as to why, but the population of the Jura, of the Central Plateau rather, is high. It has the highest percentage of the population. Yes, that's right. Joshua, Mungusu Elaku. Yes, Elaku? Yes, Joshua. Joshua? Joshua is not responding. Let me see. We have someone using iPhone 11. iPhone 12 rather. Someone using iPhone 12. One characteristic of the Central Plateau.
It has a number of lakes.
Yes?
It has a number of lakes.
You speak up, speak up.
It has a number of lakes.
I've not heard. If you can speak up. Let me hear from Charity Nabimanya. Yes, Charity? Charity Nabimanya. Yes, Charity? Yes, Charity? Someone is saying, Madam, I do not do geography of Switzerland and I do geography of North America. You are going to study it. So you just listen. By the time you get to it, then you will be a star. Yes, Mungusu Elaku. Yes, another characteristic. Another characteristic. Yes, Zakia. Zakia, your hand is up. Zakia? Okay. Let me give you what I have. Yes, Zakia? Zakia? Zakia is not responding. So among the characteristics of, yes, I can see people's hands up. Joanita. Yes, Joanita. Yes. Yes, Joanita. Joanita, your hand is up. Let me hear from Zakia. Any one characteristic of the Central Plateau?
They stretch from the northwest with the Ara valleys further merging with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan.
Very good. She's saying that it stretches from The north. Yes, that one is right. Yes, Doris. Yes, Doris. Doris.
Madam,
Yes, Doris. Yes, Charity. Charity.
I said the area is highly inhabited with mild climate.
Wow. The area has a mild climate. Good. So when you look at my screen, among the characteristics that we have, the first one is that the region slopes downwards. What we have, the northeast. That one you have mentioned. That one you have mentioned that the region slopes from downwards towards the northeast. You always check at the map we drew. You check on the map we drew that shows physical regions. And characteristic number 2 is that the region is made up of sediments which piled up from the Alps and Jura and then the Black Forest Mountains. Because this part is in the central, it has sediments that were brought from the Alps, and therefore its region is made up of sediments which were pulled from the Alps and the Jura. Then number 3, among the characteristics, the area has much of the plateau. Much of the plateau is undulating and is covered by fertile moraine material. Why are we saying that it has fertile moraine material? These are the things that are brought about by erosion. These are the things that are brought, the material that is carried out by the glaciers. We shall look at glaciation and its effects. So this part has benefited from that glaciation, and we say that most of the land is covered by fertile moraine materials. Then another point is number 4. We look at the average altitude. Remember, we said it is a plateau. So the average altitude of the area, it is about 580 meters above sea level. I want us to compare with our highlands. For example, here in Uganda, if you compare with the highland like Rwenzori, you can easily tell the average altitude is about 580 meters above sea level. This is a plateau, it's a lowland. Then another point, another characteristic is that the area contains large lakes. One student told us that it has some lakes, and among these lakes, we have Lake Constance and then Lake Geneva. On the extreme end, if you can look at the physical map we drew, we have Lake Constance like on top, and then Lake Geneva down. So this area covers those 2 lakes, that is Lake Constance and Lake Geneva. Those people were saying that they have not yet covered the Rhinelands. When you draw that map, or when you look at the map that we drew, then we can easily locate the 2 lakes. Another point is that the region has the highest population. That one you mentioned it, I'm glad that it has the highest total population of the country. Let me see, why do you think this area has a high population? Members, why do you think this area has a high population compared to Alps and Jura? Yes, Mungusi, Eraku, Joshua. Why do you think the Central Plateau has a high population? Yes. Joanita. Yes, Joanita?
Yeah, I think the plateau has fertile soils or it has favorable climate.
Very good. The one you mentioned first, it has fertile soils. Remember we said it has fertile soils brought about by the moraines. That is good. Yes, Joanita, your hand is still up.
Nope.
Yes, if you raise your point, you just put down your hand so that I can get a chance of picking on others. So we are saying the Central Plateau has the highest population. One of the reasons being that it has fertile soils. Good. Then another characteristic is that when you look at the map, when you refer to the map that I gave you, even its location when you compare with the Alps and the Jura, then this part is at a good location. Then Mungus, your hand is up. Yes, Charity Nabimanya. Charity? Charity? Charity, you have a point to put up?
Madam,
Yes?
when you show us on the map, because we don't have.
The other time I gave you a map showing physical regions.
Some of us were not there.
Some of you are not there.
Yes.
Okay. We have just started. I will bring again the map. Of course, we are going to draw that map, and then we put in other features. The other time, we only drew the map and only put in the physical regions. So we shall put in other features, and then you shall be able to see the features. Members, I want us to, I can see many hands up. Techno CM. Yes, Techno, someone using Techno CM. Someone using Techno CM? Okay. Those are some of the characteristics of the central region. We have said it stretches from the northeast and goes downwards. It's made up of sediments or piles from Alps and Jura. The plateau is undulating and discovered by fertile moraine material. And I think that is one of the reasons as to why it has a high population. And the average altitude is about 580 meters above sea level. Good. So now I want us to look at the economic importance of the Swiss Plateau region. Members who were here last time, we looked at the economic importance of the Swiss Alps. And now I want us to look at the economic importance of the Plateau region. If we get the characteristics, the fertile soils, the undulating area, then we can easily drive out. The economic importance of the area. So if I can see by show of hands, what do you think are the economic importances of the Central Plateau? We have Turinawe. Yes, Turinawe. Yes, Turinawe. Turinawe, your hand is up. Yes, Turinawe. Turinawe is not responding. Zakia, yes, Zakia. Zakia.
They attract tourists which bring foreign exchange.
Yes, one of the economic importance is saying that it attracts tourists, and as these tourists come, they pay in money in form of foreign exchange. Good. Yes, we have many industries there. They attract tourists and other economic activities. So people go there and then they pay in money. Yes, we have Irene. Yes, Irene. Activities. So people go there.
It promotes agriculture.
There is agriculture. Yes, we have agriculture. And one of the reasons as to why there is agriculture is that we mentioned that the area has fertile soils. We have agriculture, and mainly there is arable farming. There is arable farming due to the low altitude. Very good. Yes, if I can hear from Jonah. Yes, Jonah. Jonah?
Fishing. There is fishing due to the presence of lakes.
Yes, there is fishing. Fishing due to the presence of lakes.
Such
Which
as
lakes have been mentioned?
Constance and Geneva.
Yeah, we have Constance and Geneva. Very good. Very good. We have agriculture. Yes, the low altitude. Very good. Can I hear from Turinawe? Yes, Turinawe. Turinawe? Jonah? Yes, Turinawe.
There is fishing due to the presence of lakes.
Which lakes have been
Such as
mentioned?
Constance.
Adam,
Yes, Constance and
due to the presence of lakes,
yes.
so there is, it has led to the creation of jobs to people.
Yes, there is, due to lakes, people have got jobs like, yes, Turinawe, jobs
Like fishing.
yes, that one has already been mentioned. Thank you. There is fishing due to the presence of lakes. We have Tracelina. Yes, Tracelina. Tracy?
Yes, teacher.
Tracelina?
Yes, teacher, I didn't want to answer the question, but I just wanted to know what you're talking about here because I've just joined.
Oh, you have just joined. Tracy, you are the one talking?
Yes.
You have just joined, and we are studying geography, rainlands, and in particular, Switzerland. So we
Okay.
are looking at the physical regions of Switzerland, and we are on the central plateau.
Okay,
So
thank you,
can
teacher.
join from there.
Okay.
Yes. Angelica. Yes, Angelica. Angelica. Angelica, your hand is up. Let me see. Joanita. Yes, Joanita.
The forests in the Swiss Plateau are used in forestry.
Come again.
The forests in the Swiss Plateau are used in forestry.
They are used in forestry. So in other words, forest activities are carried out there. That is very good. Thank you. Let me go back to my screen. Members, you have your hands up. Let me look at our screen. We are saying that the first economic activity, there is urbanization and trade. There is urbanization and trade. Why? Because the largest percentage of the population is found in the Swiss Plateau. So we have urban centers like Bern, we have urban centers like Zurich, and we have urban centers like Geneva. So there is trade, especially in those urban centers. And number two, we are saying that there is this issue of industrialization is taking place there due to the large population that offers labor and market. We shall look at industries when we come to industrialization in Switzerland, we shall be able to draw the map and put in all those industries that are found in the Swiss plateau. So now we are saying there is a lot of industrialization in the Swiss plateau. And number 3, you have mentioned that, someone mentioned it, that there is farming, and I told you we have arable farming due to the low altitude and the flat landscape. This enables mechanization. It's easier to use machines during cultivation. And with arable, they grow crops like maize, wheat, barley, fodder, and all those you can see, the apples, the pears, and the cherries. So there is a lot of farming carried out there. Then another point is that there is animal rearing. We have animal rearing due to the rich pastures and fodder crops that support large herds for beef and dairy products. So there is animal rearing within the Swiss plateau. Then some people mentioned about the lakes, Constance. So we have the point of fishing. I'm glad that one you mentioned it. So there is fishing due to the presence of lakes such as Geneva and Constance. So people are employed in fishing industry. People are employed in fishing industry. So those are some of the economic importances of the Central Plateau, which you have said that it is at the altitude of 580 meters above sea level. Then I want us also now to go and look at the Swiss Alps. This is the third part. This is the third region. The first region, we talked about Jura. Second region, we talked about the Central Plateau. And now I want us to look at the Swiss Alps. Members, let us now look at the Swiss Alps. Those people who were there, I'm still referring to the map. We have the upper part, which is Jura. Then we have the central part, which is the Central Plateau. And now we have the Alps. And when we go to the Alps, this part covers the biggest part. It is the biggest region when you compare the 3. So we are saying that the alpine region makes up about 60% of the total land area of Switzerland. So when you compare the first one we talked about, the second one, this one takes up the biggest part. And it stretches from Lake Geneva to Italy. If you can still remember the neighboring countries, I'm sure we located the neighboring countries. So we are saying, if you can look at Geneva where it is, and we are saying that it stretches from Geneva to Italy in the south, and then Austria in the east. Members always refer to the map that we drew. Those who are not there, we shall bring the map, and we shall draw, of course, the map of Switzerland, and we put in other physical features. So that is the Swiss Alps. It covers the biggest part. Now let us look at the characteristics. This part that covers the biggest part, I want to see, what do you think are the characteristics of this part? It covers the biggest part of Switzerland. Yes, you can see people have their hands up. Yes. Let me see. Was not giving me the answer. Yes, Nyombi. Yes, Nyombi. Nyombi. Nyombi, can you give us at least one characteristic of this part of Switzerland called the Swiss Alps?
Yes.
Nyombi? Yes.
It covers the largest part.
Very good. It covers the largest part. Yes. We have said that it covers 60%. Yes, of the total land area. Yes, let me hear from Kisachi Mary. Kisachi?
It is Mount Kenya.
Kisachi's hand is up, but she's not talking. I can't tell why. Yes, let me hear from, we have Ambrose. Yes, Ambrose. Ambrose? Ambrose Namanya.
Yes.
Yes, can you just give me one characteristic of Arab? Yes?
I'm not understanding.
You're not understanding? You're not, yes, let others help you. Yes, Charity. Charity.
Yes.
One characteristic of, yes?
The soil is thin and fertile.
Come again. Charity, come again. We want to hear that.
Soil.
Yes? Charity, can you
They
try?
are thin and fertile.
Yes, Charity is talking about the soil.
Thin and fertile.
That they are thin and fertile. They are a bit fertile when you compare it with the Central Plateau. It's also somehow fertile, but not to the level of the Central Plateau. Yes, we have Rina Kerry. Rina Kerry, your hand is up. Yes, Rina. Rina? Okay. Now let us see what I have prepared. What are these characteristics? What are these characteristics of the alpine region or the Alps? First one, we can say that the region is dominated by complex fold mountain ranges running northeast and southeast. Members, they are saying that the region is comprised of fold ranges. Geographers, do we know how fold ranges are formed?
No.
No? Who can
Yes.
tell me how fold ranges are formed? Fold ranges. Yes, and we are saying that this area is covered by
snow.
Snow. Let me see. Yes, let me ask Nyombi. Yes, Nyombi.
Yes, sure.
Yes. Fold ranges are formed by? Matiang is saying.
I'm not hearing you.
You're not hearing me.
Yes.
We are saying that the alpine region is covered by fold ranges. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, and I was asking that
yes.
Who can tell me how fold ranges are formed? And I can see people's hands up. Yes, Nabimanya. Nabimanya Charity?
By folding.
By folding. Very good. So we say yes area and it is main ranges. Good. Number two, it is a mountainous area and the mountains are dissected by rivers. The mountains are dissected by rivers. We have said it is a mountainous area, and the mountains that are there are fault mountains. So these mountains are dissected by rivers, and such rivers include River Rhine, we have River Rhone, we have Ticino, and others. So these mountains we have talked about, the fold mountains, the mountain ranges that are there, they are dissected by rivers. And when we draw the map, when we again draw the map, we shall again draw the map showing the drainage. Then we shall be able to put in these rivers. And remember, this river Rhine forms a very important thing in as far as rainlands is concerned. Remember, we said these are the regions that are drained by River Rhine. Therefore, this River Rhine and other rivers like Rhone and Ticino, they dissect the mountains. Jonah is saying she would like to answer. Yes, Jonah? Yes, Jonah? Jonah, can I hear from you? Jonah? Jonah has an answer to give. Let me see. Jonah. Yes. Jonah, it's your chance. Okay. We cannot hear Jonah. I don't know what has happened, but she had a contribution. So we are saying the area is mountainous and is dissected by rivers. Then characteristic number 3, this alpine region, its average altitude is about 1,700 meters above sea level. When you compare it with the Central Plateau, remember we said the Central Plateau is at 580, but this one is a bit raised and it is on 1,700 meters above sea level. So that is the third characteristic. Then the fourth characteristic is that there is presence of many glacial erosional features. We have a lot of glaciation in this alpine region. So there is glacial depositional features. When we talk about depositional, glacial depositional features, such as we have, first we have erosional. We have erosional like erects. We have features like hanging valleys. We shall come to all these and we see how they are formed. Members, we shall come to all this and we see how. Yes.
But someone told me that. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Someone told me.
Yes.
That it covers the largest part, but in these characteristics, I'm not seeing it.
My dear, we are coming to that. I already mentioned it. Did you start with us? Did you start with us?
No.
Yes? Yeah,
no.
That's the problem. That is our first point. We said that this alpine region covers 60%. Are we together now? That was my first point, that it makes up the biggest part and it covers around 60%. So we are together there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are saying that there is presence of many glacial erosional features. I told you there is a lot of glaciation. And I was saying that we are going to look in our coming lesson, we shall look at how these features are formed. The arêtes, the hanging valleys, the pyramidal peaks. We have the U-shaped valleys and others. And those ones are all found in the alpine region. Then another characteristic, there is presence of glacial depositional. These ones are erosional features, but again, we have depositional features. Features as a result of deposition. And among these features, we have the moraine, we have the outwash plains, we have the drumlines and erratic features. We are going to draw up the picture showing all these, and we shall talk about each one of these features we have mentioned, that they are found in the alpine region. Another characteristic is that the rocks are mainly granite and slate, covered with chalk and other sedimentary rocks in the north. So there is a lot of deposition, there is a lot of glaciation in this part of Switzerland, and it is mountainous. You know, with the mountain, there are many, the mountains aid glaciation. And we are saying that many features have been formed in this region as a result of glaciation. So we have the granite, we have the slate, and we are saying that all these ones are covered by other sedimentary rocks from the north. Then another characteristic is that the region has the lowest population density. Members, I want to ask, we said that the Central Plateau has the highest population, and we gave reasons. Why do you think this part has the lowest population density? Why do you think the Alpine has the lowest population density compared to the Central Plateau? If I can hear from you, who can suggest for us the reason? Why do you think the Alpine region has the lowest population density? Yes, Derek. Yes, Derek. Why is it that the Alpine region has the lowest population density? And yet it covers a big part. It is a big part with low population. Yes, Trevor. Trevor?
I think, yes, teacher. I think
Yes.
people are not there because it has so many hills and places. It's like a place where someone can't easily live in.
Yeah, that is the major reason.
It has so many hills and
mountains. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Remember we said that the area is mountainous. The area has been affected by glaciation. So in other words, this area is not favorable for settlement. So that's why you find that it covers the largest part, but when it comes to population, it has the lowest population compared to the Central Plateau. Remember, we said that the Central Plateau covers only 30%, but yet it has the highest population. So this Alpine region has the lowest population because of the harsh conditions. Yes, Agawa is saying because it has a large area and people are dispersed due to its large area. Yes, Agawa, you have a point, but I was asking, why do you think that when you compare the total population, whether the area is big, when you compare the total population, it is low? Yes, I can see some people. Yes, Irene, do you want to give us a point there? The reason as to why the Alpine region has a low population. Yes, Agawa. Agawa?
Me, teacher?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, I think like due to its being a piece of
You have a problem of network. Yes, yes, come again. Hello.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
I think it has a low population because the area is cold and windy.
The area is what?
Cold and windy.
Yes, it is cold. It is cold. So the conditions are not favorable for human settlement. Let me hear from Ambrose. Ambrose?
Yes, I was the
Yes.
one talking, teacher.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Ambrose. Is saying that the conditions are not favorable. Let me hear from someone using Techno K9. Yes. Techno K9. Techno. You know, these people who don't normally put their names. Let me hear from Trevor. Yes, Trevor. Trevor, your hand has been up. Yes. Trevor has a point. Yes, Joanita. Why is it that this part is the biggest and yet it has the lowest population? Yes, it has the population.
I think
What do you think?
I think that part is mountainous. That's making transport difficult for people.
Yeah, because it is mountainous.
And it makes transport difficult.
Madam.
Yes. Yes, Joanita. This is Joanita again talking.
Yes, that's making transport difficult for people.
Let me hear from Zakia. Zakia, why do you think this part has the lowest population? Yes, Zakia? This is Joanita. Zakia, I've picked on you. Can you give us your point? Zakia's hand is up, yet she cannot talk. Yes, Isaac. Isaac? Okay. People are saying it has the lowest population density, and the reasons are that this area is covered by mountains and the conditions are not favorable. Members, I want us to look at the economic importance. Yes, someone is saying presence of glaciers, that is right. Now let us look at the economic importance of the Alps. What do you think are the economic importance of the Alps? Economic importance, number one, we have tourism. We have tourism in the Alps, and this is due to the presence of the beautiful and magnificent scenery. Those features we have been talking about, the hanging valleys, the arets, they form a beautiful scenery, and therefore people come to look at them. Then number two, the Alps are glaciated and they act as source of rivers. You know, many rivers have their source in the mountains. Therefore, the Alps act as a source of the rivers, such as Rhine. We have given those examples of those rivers, and therefore, the rivers act as a source of HEP, or hydroelectricity. Then economic importance number three is that there is a lot of forestry and lumbering activities. Why? Because the mountain slopes have coniferous forests. The mountaintops have been covered by the forests. We have many coniferous forests, and therefore people carry out lumbering. Economic activity number 4 is that there is a lot of industrialization. Industrialization is taking place in the Alps, and examples of industries, we have smelting and refining of metals like aluminum. Due to the presence of cheap electricity, they can develop their own power from the rivers. Therefore, we have a lot of industrialization. Then another economic activity is animal rearing. Remember, some people talked about agriculture, but mainly here we have animal rearing, particularly cattle grazing. And we are saying that there is transhumance. Transhumance is practiced. And when we mention about transhumance, what do we mean? We mean that here there is seasonal movements of animals. Some people are saying they want to give answers. Yes, you can easily type. You type your answers, I can read. So there is animal rearing, and the practice carried out is transhumance, where people move with their animals from place to place in search for pasture. And this one has promoted dairy farming. Then lastly, but not least, of course, there is arable farming, which is carried out on the lower slopes, and the crops grown include orchards, vines, and grapes. So remember, we said that there is a lot of farming in this place, and therefore we have dairy farming, we have even the growing of crops. Members, I've prepared for you work, and I want you to try it during your free time. And as usual, you send it. People have answers in their chats. I know you have many points to put up, but you can just answer and give your points by answering the questions that I have given you. I'm going to put questions in our classroom Google, and then you can answer. Members had hands up.